What's up, you guys? Welcome back to another episode of Grab a Snack, where we unpack all things rugby at the Olympics. I'm your host, Jazz Gray.
And I'm Nicole Palombo. Today we're going to recap the medal matches and talk about how USA finished. We're going to preview the women's games as they kick off tomorrow, talk about some of our men's standout players, our dream team selection, some social standouts, and as always, Jazz is going to quiz me on my rugby knowledge. But first, let's talk about what we're snacking on. I realized last week I had a little bit too much candy. And I'm also home now, so I don't have candy in my house. So I'm snacking on a good old trusty goldfish. Old reliable
Okay, the snack that smiles back.
goldfish. That and a little, some lemonade.
Okay, that lemonade look
Yep.
good. That look
It's
cold
very,
too. Okay.
very refreshing, yes. What
Well,
about you?
I took a page out of your book today, and I got fruit snack. Well,
Love it.
piece. I wasn't nice enough to put mine in a bowl, so you guys might hear a little rattling. And then I have my last bit of kombucha. I hate washing dishes, so I was just like, I'm gonna just take this to the head. So yeah, nice and simple today.
All right, Jazz, I was going to text you this story, but I wanted to save it for now.
Okay.
And probably the best compliment I've ever received in my life. Okay. So last week I was in a different area because I was in Kansas City for the rugby camp. Flew home yesterday in my athletic gear just because I hate putting on normal clothes. I'm an athletic t-shirt girl. But I also had my trusty favorite Olympic hat on. Okay, so I
Okay.
had this, my Navy PR Sevens quarter zip.
Okay.
And during the flight, I was flying Delta, which is like Team USA's plane, I guess, whatever, like partner. I got a nice little thank you card
Okay.
just saying like, thanks for flying with us. You know, I know there's been a lot of trouble the last couple of days with like crowd strikes. They're just thanking me. And I was like, okay, like that was nice of them. I get off the plane and the flight attendants, like two of them, like look at me. They're like, hey, excuse me. Are you playing in the Olympics? Just classified as someone to think I'm an Olympian. I would, oh my God, best compliment ever. They thought I was an Olympian. I was just walking off strut. And I mean, to each their own, I am wearing an Olympic hat. And I was in Navy. It's kind of like I was fishing for it, I feel. What did I say? I was like, oh my God, no, I wish. But no, I just work with a lot of them. I'm just supporting them. They're like, oh, okay. But yeah, I was asked if I was an Olympian. And I'm going to take that to the grave. I'm taking that to the grave.
You
So
must have been looking super, little
yeah.
fit.
I had the biggest smile on my face. Yeah, I was pumped.
All right, so let's go into the games. So first, I think it's only fitting that we talk about how the USA men finished up. Eighth place, I'm sure not where they wanted to be, but there were some good things to come out of it. So we'll start with Perry. Okay, 10 tries, holding the record for most tries in the Olympics. So that's pretty cool, especially on his last hoorah. So to go out setting a record, I think is pretty cool.
Pretty incredible. Yeah, I mean, after this Olympics, he now set two. He has the most in a single game, most of all time, in front of Carlin Isles with 9, and another PR Sevens player in third with 8, Dan Norton. So really incredible for Perry to do. Yeah, so happy for Perry. What a way to go out. You know, at least I saw on his social channels, though, he says it's a team effort. You know, he would never be here with the rest of his teammates, but still, you know, you are the one getting the job done, and it's incredible what he's done for the sport.
100%. The game against Ireland, 17-14, so a real close game. I feel like
Yeah.
we've been, like, Ireland always, like, beats them, like, at the buzzer, kind of, in the last few matchups between the two. But I just think, like, the rucks, the breakdowns they was really getting after it. I think that played a big part into those two games for them. Also, too, I saw that Mike Friday brought on his reserve players, so that was super cool to
Yeah.
allow them to become Olympians. I don't know if a lot of people know, but you're not technically an Olympian until you play at least 1 second of the game. So that was super cool to let them get out there today and, make their mark. I will say you could kind of see a little bit of the inexperience. So I don't know if that was maybe like a coaching flaw, putting them in so early, or just people were tired. And
Yeah, I did see Adam and Peta V come in. I thought that was really different. I know Nicole went on today saying that she doesn't expect to play unless someone gets hurt, which obviously she does not want anyone to get hurt. No one ever wants somebody to get hurt. So going in as a traveling reserve, you have that mindset that you don't know if you're going to ever see the field. So pretty nice of them to be able to see it for 2 games there. Curious as to why.
And then moving on to them playing Argentina, kind of a blowout there. 19-0. Really cool to see Revolve. I'm guessing like he's retiring after this. Like the way he kind of went off and like waved at the crowd, but then he came back on. So I was just like, what's happening here? If you watch rugby, you know that he's one of the greats. He's done so much for the sport, and he's a pretty old guy. So he's still hanging on with the best of them. So that was pretty cool to see.
I have a note here saying that they started out hot. You could, in the first couple minutes, they really put in some energy, and then it kind of just dipped off. I think Madison, not getting that try, which was then recalled, I think that kind of hurt the momentum a little bit. So, yeah, Argentina's just a tough team. And as you said, they have some of the best players in the entire world on their team. They're a dominant force in the spring. So just kind of a hard wall to get past, especially when it's your last game. I know you still want to go out with a bang, but when you know it's not for much, it's kind of hard to probably turn on those jets there. But Lucas Lecamp, he was all over the place again. I give him a big old gold star for the Olympics.
Although we were rooting for them, it's kind of not a surprise, like where they ended up. That's kind of where they've been the whole season. So I think next 3 years, they just need to hone in and try to figure out how they can get past those quarterfinal games. And I think that is the next domino to fall for the men.
Because that's where we saw them lag on the series, right? Just never breaking down that wall.
Yeah, just never could get past the quarterfinals. And it could be mental, but I don't know, something about it. But hopefully they, break that barrier, and come next season, they can really push past that and look forward to LA 28. So let's go into the exciting bronze medal match. I mean, it really came down to the wire.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I'm just so shocked, surprised, and happy for South Africa, honestly. They kind of looked like they were getting back to their old ways, because there was one point on the series that they just couldn't be beat. So it seems like they're trying to get back to that, and that was a game to watch. And big ups to Australia. Like, it wasn't a blowout. It was a game straight down to the wire. Like, handing somebody else the ball to score in the try zone is crazy. But that was pretty cool. And, big ups to South Africa getting the bronze medal.
Agreed. And also big props to Australia for scoring twice with a man down. I mean, That's pretty dang hard to do. So they knew what was on the line. Even though with only 6 men out there, they gave it their all. They were able to tie up that score, and then just South Africa was able to get the job done. So really exciting, like you said, to kind of see them come back to the team that they used to be. So great to see South Africa back on the podium. They got the bronze in 2016 in Rio, hit 5th in Tokyo, and now they're back up. So really exciting to see them, especially after the 15 season they had. South Africa's probably just going crazy over there. So good for them.
Yeah, and I think that was like the first red card of the tournament too. So for those of you that don't know, when you get a red card, that means you cannot play for the rest of the game. So now your team has to play with 6, and that sucks.
Got to cover a lot of ground, close a lot of gaps. Looked very difficult. But, I mean, hell, Australia really, really did well with 6. So
They did. And then we have the much-awaited gold medal match, France and Fiji. And France really put on a clinic there against the 2-time gold medalists. So, again, that is so cool to just, like, win gold in front of your home crowd. So that was, I was looking at DuPont, and I'm like, as you watch somebody play and they're so good, it's like, man, this guy's kind of good looking, low key. I'm like, he has like these little mysterious eyes. It's like, I don't know if he's gonna like score a try, if he's gonna rob me, or if we're gonna take a walk on the beach. I don't know. But I'm like, okay, he's kind of cute a little bit. But no, DuPont, like, again, he comes on. He didn't start, so he came on the second half and really like took it from 0 to 100. And he put the whole team on his back. And whenever he touches that ball, magic happens. And they got a lot of magic going on right now as they got those gold medals around their necks. So cool to watch.
He just brings a completely different energy. He came off the bench the semifinal game, I think, with only 6 or 4 minutes left to go. He came in at the start of the second half in the gold medal match. And yeah, like you said, the game just completely went into their control once that happened. What I love to see is the rise of France. So in Rio in 2016, they placed seventh. Tokyo, they didn't even qualify. They were not there. And then here they are in Paris, gold medalist. Okay, I love the part in Moneyball when it's like, how can you not be romantic about baseball? Like, just romantic about sports. Like I said in the first episode, it's just the script was writing itself, and it did its job today. Just from the start, when they were playing the national anthem and 70,000 people were singing it along with them, like, honestly, like, I wanted to cry. Like, it just, it's so moving. So I really like Fiji. I want to talk about Fiji in a minute here, and we do have two PR7s players on Fiji, but I could not root for France in this. It was a beautiful kind of scene to me. So, and at the end, I don't know what the song it was. I think it's called Edith P. I'm not even going to try and pronounce it, but then the entire stadium was just singing a French song together. Just a great game, intense game, and then just some other beautiful moments around it for me.
Yeah, no, seriously, the announcer was saying like how kind of storybook it was. Just even at the end of the game, for them to take the line out, come down, and like, push it in because he does play 15. So like the way that he scored at the end, it's just like, you couldn't have wrote it any better than that. So happy for them, happy for him, happy for their country. So pretty cool.
The Fiji, though, you may not have the gold medal right now, but you are still the king. Like they are so good, and just their style is just so exciting to watch. Just how they kind of just give up the ball and share it with each other, and they just make it exciting. And their fans erupt in the stands. I remember when I was in LA Sevens, like they had a whole section to themselves. So the nation just really rallies behind them. So it was still a good game to watch for Fiji in there, and happy they're still made it to the podium, especially after the spring. Just like South Africa didn't have a great spring, turned it around, and look at them now holding the silver medals.
I'm sure you saw too, it was kind of raining a lot, slippery ball, and when you're an offloading team, that can have some effect on you. I said before that they were owning the restart, and I just think couple mistakes in the restart, and France was able to like starve them a ball and just capitalize very well. So just not their day, and today was not the day to not have your day. So unfortunate for them. I'm sure they'll be back in Hungary in LA 28. So I will say there were like a bunch of dive tackles, and I'm not a dive tackle girly, but the men, they will jump up so high and just extend their bodies and then just plop on the ground. And I'm like, hey, yo, do you not care? Do you not care about your body? I don't get it. But there were so many like dive tackles, guys like sticking their tongue out and, making fun of it. So it's always cool to see like the players enjoying it. So that was cool.
I have a question since you're talking about tackles. I couldn't really figure it out from what the commentators were saying. So once your knee touches the ground, do you then have to give up? You've been tackled and you have to give up the ball.
So you have one movement to place the ball back.
Okay. What about the slide tackle? Because you could like slide on your leg and then get back up.
So if you're not held, so say like if you tackle me and somehow like my legs or whatever come out of it, I can stand back up because you didn't hold me. But if you are held, you can release the ball and then pick it back up and go again.
Thank you. Yeah, because I think that happened in one of the probably happened in a couple of games. But in
Yeah.
one of the USA games, they were saying, oh, he slid, like he can get back up. So I was just trying to understand that a little bit more. So
Yeah,
thank
as
you.
long as the player is not like on you, you can get back up without releasing the ball because you haven't been held. But if they're like still on you, or you can release the ball and then pick it back up and go again. But if the ball goes forward, it'll be a knock on.
Thank you. I'm going to be not a whiz.
Bro.
I don't want to say a whiz. I still have a lot more to learn, but for the women's games starting tomorrow, I'm just going to be even better than the last couple of days. So I'm excited for that. Thanks for all your insight here.
Hey, honestly, I'm probably not the person you should be taking insight from, but hey, I'm here for it. Standout performers of the day, I'll go with mine first. Zane Davids, my man. 2 tries back to back. It was one, somebody tried to offload, he kicked it and then put it down in the try zone. And also too, he's a good looking man. I see him growing that beard and I'm like, okay, I see you. So yeah, I thought he had a great performance on both sides of the ball. Big ups to him. My favorite to watch this morning.
Mine is no secret here. Talk about him every time on the show. Antoine Dupont. How can you not? 2 tries in the final game, putting it on for his city in front of his friends and family. Just again, the story that wrote itself. He deserves one in my eyes.
Okay, so usually on the 7 series after the tournament, they'll come out with a dream team, and it's the 7 people who perform the best. So we decided to make our own dream team. And these are, again, our opinions. And these are the 7 most standout players of the Olympic Games.
All right, first up, piggybacking off what we just said, I'm going with Antoine Dupont. He's getting
Okay.
number 1. Number 1 in my eyes, number 1 in my heart.
This is not in any particular order.
No, I would say not in
Okay.
particular order. This is just
but-
7 people.
Okay, so number 2, have to give it to Perry Baker. 4 tries in one game, then breaking the record for having 10 in the Olympics. So definitely got to put you on there. Great job. Hope you enjoy your retirement.
Good pick, good pick. Next one, I really liked number 12, Celestino from Fiji. I believe this was his first time with Fiji, actually. So he wasn't on the series. He got brought in after the series, and he put on a show, man. He was so good. He was everywhere. Like he was scoring tries, making tackles. I liked him, and I hope he sticks around for a while, and I'm sure he will after the way he and the rest of the team performed.
And then next, I'm going to throw Andy Timo in there from France. Young guy, getting the dirty work done. I'm sure we're going to see a lot more of him as he's just starting to get his footing in the rugby game. So great job, great 6 games. Just great all around. And then for number 5, we're going to throw Zane in there, Zane Davids in there from South Africa. Again, a guy who's very good on both sides of the ball, can score, can tackle, can poach. He does it all. And he doesn't look too bad either, ladies. And then for the last 2 slots, I'll probably give it to Terry Kennedy and Henry Hutchison from Terry Kennedy from Ireland and Henry from Australia. 2 guys who are just absolute wizards, really put the team on their back. I like Henry because he's like fiery. He's always making a big tackle, getting a big poach, and I feel like stuff like that makes your team have good momentum. And sevens, it goes by so quick, like we said earlier, and it's just a game of momentum sometimes. So having either one of those players on the dream team is a must. So maybe you guys can drop in the comments and let us know if we left somebody off, or if it's somebody on our dream team that shouldn't be on there. Let us know. We would really love to see what you guys think and who were standouts in your book. All right, and that's a wrap for the men's game. We're heading into tomorrow where we have the women playing, and I'm super, super, super excited. So I'm just excited. You know what time the games start tomorrow for the women?
They're kicking off at 10:30 a.m. Eastern against Japan.
Okay. So make sure you guys are tuned in for that. Yeah, 7:30 for me, so not too bad. Not too
You
early.
get to sleep in a little bit.
A little bit. 'Cause 5 a.m. was madness. I wrote my notes on a manual here because it's all I had by my bed this morning. So maybe one of these days I'll put some paper there before I go to sleep, like a sane person would do. But we'll see. So yeah, I'm excited about the girls tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm excited to start the women's side. We both have New Zealand to win, Australia second, and USA is coming home with that bronze medal. Their pool play matches up nicely, which we think They can do this. But all the girls, look, they're having a great time. Last night was the opening ceremony, so it was nice to see everybody in their fits, USA, but then also New Zealand. I saw they were having a great time, and Tanika and Taisha. Yeah, Taisha was on like the front of the boat, and she was seen easily on TV, so it was fun to see her giving a
Oh,
wave
that's
there
cool.
last night. Yeah, so I think it's gonna be a really good weekend or week. I guess it's just I feel like every day is a Saturday now since
Yeah,
we're just watching rugby all day every day.
for sure.
But no, it's gonna be a great couple of days, and just so excited to see what the women do. I know I don't play rugby, but I work in rugby here. Okay, so I work in rugby. Whenever I tell people I work for PR Sevens, it's a men's and women's league. They're like, women play rugby, and then I have to go into yes, women do play rugby. There's professional, they're on the national stage. And I saw Ari once tweeted, or not tweeted, she put on her story, like, I'm so tired of having to tell people that women play rugby. So we at PR7s made like women play rugby shirts.
Oh,
Just trying to,
nice.
yeah, just trying to just stop that. Come and, it's not a question anymore, it's a statement. Women play rugby and they freaking rock at it. So I am just so excited to see what all these women do this week. Yes, USA, obviously, we're going to be biased towards them this week, but there's so many incredible players there this week. It'll be Portia's last hurrah, Naya's last stint. So it's just going to be an incredible next couple of days. So just really looking forward to the women there.
Well, make sure you guys grab one of those shirts. I'm sure we'll have a link somewhere. You click it and you buy one. Even if you're not a woman that plays rugby, we, we we have men's sizes as well. So make sure you guys get one of those shirts. Very cool. I love that.
And let's move over to some social standouts. So I'm just going to start off with a huge achievement in Alona Mar for reaching 1 million followers. She's the second most followed player in all of rugby.
That's what I'm talking about, Lo.
For
Yeah,
now,
that's super cool. Yeah, I'm sure she's gonna walk him down.
she is only 300,000 behind Shia Khaleesi, a 15s player from, I'm not actually too sure where, so I'm not going to say anything correct here, but she got so many in just a couple of days, because when I looked at her 2 days ago, she had 960,000 followers. I'm sure if I look right now, she's probably at 1.1. So she's climbing the ranks there, so really happy for her.
300,000 is nothing. She can get that after they play tomorrow. I'm sure she'll be surpass him. So yeah, that's super cool. Also saw on social media that USA had their jersey ceremony. Got to see a lot of people's family and loved ones come out. So that looked very heartfelt. I saw in a lot of their stories they were saying their heart is full and just how happy they were to see their family. So that was great.
Agreed. And then I don't want to take the last one because she's your best friend, but Naya put on her stories just saying how she finished up her last practice. You want to talk a little bit about that?
I had my last training session with the girls today. Crazy. 8 years later, who would have thought?
Oh yeah, so since she's retiring, that was her last practice with the girls. I saw her video on Instagram, and I could tell she was a little like, taking in the feeling, the moment. So, yeah, that was cool, surreal, happy moment, sad moment, all those things for her, I'm sure. So, that was cool to see, and just she's on her way to retirement. 3 more days, and she'll be kicking her feet up on somebody's beach. I'm sure. I'm sure of it. Okay. You know what time
Uh-oh.
it is. You already know. I'm not gonna lie. The question today is more like, I think you will know it, but I just want to bring light to this because I don't think it's right.
Okay.
So this happened today in one of the games. So when a player is going for a try and they get held up, who then gets the ball?
So by being held up, is that when you just don't touch the ball down? Like there's players underneath the ball, right?
So you went to go touch it down, but it doesn't reach any grass. So a player stops you, and it's not a knock on, but you just you get held up. Who then gets the
I
ball?
I remember it happening. I can't remember who got the ball after. And by the way, you would think, you made a defensive stop, probably defense gets the ball, but I'm assuming by the way you're asking it, offense gets the ball.
They do, and I just think
I
that
don't
rule
like
should
that.
be
Yeah.
changed. I don't like
I
that.
would agree.
I
I
don't.
would agree. If you make a big defensive stop, you earn that. You're getting that ball back. Like, it shouldn't go to offense.
That's what I believe too. But apparently they get a scrum on the 5. So if any World Series officials are watching this, we need to do something about that. I've worked hard. I held it up. It should be my ball. I don't get that. I'm disappointed. That made me angry. It's like, now I got to play defense again? I don't get it. I don't get that.
You worked your, excuse my language, ass off. That should be yours. You stopped that. It should be yours. Yeah.
That's what I'm
What?
saying.
That's a good rule. Do you have any other rule you'd like to see changed?
That's really the only one. I think in 15s the rule is different, and the announcers were like kind of getting to that. I probably should have looked it up, but I think there is a 22 drop when you're in 15s, which is like the defense gets the ball on the 22 and you kick it from there. So I think that's fair. But just giving the ball back to the attack is just unacceptable. We can't be doing that.
Awesome. Okay. Well, thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah, I'm looking forward to the women's games now that I have all this extra knowledge all up in here. I'm gonna be so good at watching and analyzing them. So no, I'm thanks for keeping me on my toes.
100%. You're keeping me on my toes because I'm terrible at the rules, honestly. But thank you guys for tuning in to another episode of Grab a Snack, where we unpack all things rugby at the Olympics. The women's games start tomorrow, so we'll be back with another episode to dive in to the first day of the women's games. Remember to subscribe on Spotify or YouTube, and we'll see you guys tomorrow. Peace.